Hi there, welcome to this training. Today I'm going to take you through the 4 emails that you can write super quickly, deploy out there to your email list that will get your audience buying from you in the next 4 days. I don't want to faff around, I just want to get straight into it. So my name's Kathy Topping. If you want to find out more about me, you can find me on my website, Your Web Toolkit. But yeah, let's get into it. So quick revenue wins come from the fast action takers on your list. So chances are, if you haven't been, using strategies like this and making sales, it's because you haven't been putting offers in front of the people on your list. Now, there's going to be some people on your list who are just sitting there waiting for you to just make them the right offer, the right invitation, and they're going to snap your hand off. Is that the right expression? So what you need to do is to give them a reason to buy it now. Now, I'm not talking about creating false scarcity. It's not about icky tactics, about pretending that things are happening that aren't happening. But what you can do is build in real scarcity into your business and your offers. And that's going to encourage the people who are waiting to buy. I'm going to give them that reason to do it now. So ways that you can give them a reason to buy, you could offer a founding member discount. So if you want to launch something new and you want to validate it with paid customers, put it out there, offer a beta, discount, founding member discount, and there's going to be people in your audience who love to be early adopters and will hop on board. And what I found often as well is that these people tend to stay in your world for a really, really long time as they grow with you and move along as you evolve and mature your offers. You can run flash sales. This works well for digital products. I wouldn't do this for your services or even like high ticket stuff. But if you've got digital products, you can run a flash sale, or you can create a bundle and put a bunch of them together and create a sale around that. Or you can add a bonus of some sort, and for a limited time offer this product with this bonus, and just make it extra enticing for people. And again, giving them a reason to buy now. This works really well with services and higher ticket, high touch programs. At least once a year, maybe twice a year, you're going to be putting your prices up, or the rates are going to be going up, or the price of your program is going to be going up, or you're going to be creating a new tier or something like that. So if you build that into your year, and then you can run a campaign around it, the end of the year is quite a good time for this. I find with my services that, towards the end of the year, I can say, look, my price is going up next year. But you can lock them in right now at this year's price. I've done things like just take a deposit for now, and then we'll do the thing in January, that kind of thing. So again, if somebody's in your audience, they've been thinking about working for you, but they've just sort of not had a real reason to, it hasn't felt urgent. This can give them that sense of urgency because they want to lock you in at your current prices. If you're a service-based business or you deliver a high-touch program, you're going to have a limited number of spots. You're going to have limited ways, or limited number of people who are going to be able to work with you like that in that kind of high touch format. So that's a natural scarcity, and just make sure that you're promoting it. Start a list, a waiting list, and you can open it up to people who are on the waiting list when you've got free spots. And there are all sorts of variations and putting these things together that you can work, but these are kind of the main ways that you can get people to buy now, and get a sort of quick cash injection from your email list. All right, so I'm going to take you through a campaign, an example campaign. So the one I'm going to show you, and the emails I'm going to show you, is sharing a beta offer at a discounted price. And what this has got built into it is a time deadline, and the price is going to be going up as well. And these are the 4 emails. So these 4 emails you can send out. Now, I'm showing you for this specific campaign, but you can follow the same structure for all those different sort of sales mechanisms that I just talked about. So the first email, share the offer. You want to talk about what the benefits are, what they're going to get, features, the how-to, the nuts and bolts, and then including any deadline or scarcity, whatever that natural sort of reason that they need to buy now, that urgency, include that. And you're going to include that in every single email. Just keep reminding them, time's running out, or I've only got one spot left, or whatever it is. You want to share proof. So the biggest objection that anyone's got in their mind when they're looking to work with you, spend money with you, or invest their time with you, is they are thinking to themselves, can I trust this person? Can I trust that they're going to deliver what they promise? Can I trust that I'm going to get the results that they promise? So quite often it's not that they doubt what you're saying, but they don't necessarily see how it's going to work for them. So what you need to do is share some proof, show them that, look, this does work because it's worked for this person or it's worked for me. The caveat when you're doing, and this is something to really keep in mind when you're getting case studies and testimonials, is that you really need to align the testimonial or case study that you're sharing with the offer and with the person that you're putting the offer in front of. So if I give you an example, I work as a copywriter. I have clients who hire me to do their work for them. And then I have programs where I teach and I sell courses and stuff. So the testimonials or case studies, the proof that I know what I'm doing that I share with the clients who hire me is different to the testimonials or proof that the people who are buying my courses or joining my programs need to see. So for example, with the copywriting clients, you know, they want to see that I've worked on similar campaigns in the past, that I've worked in that niche in the past, that I've got results for other clients in the past. And so things showing, you know, that I've done this, that the other, that these are the results I got are super relevant for them. Those big launches, the big results that I get, because it's not just me, I'm, you know, generally part of a team and I'm one piece, there's a lot of other stuff in place. You know, I could use that, be like, I worked with this client and we made, you know, 6 figures, had a 6-figure launch. But to the person who has got an email list, small email list, is just starting out, is in the first year of business, although it might be quite exciting to hear that kind of stuff, it doesn't really relate to them because they don't have all the pieces in place to make that happen. And so it's not really in alignment. So although they might be like, I trust that you can do that, and I believe that you got that result, but I don't really believe that you can get that result for me. And they'd be right, because it's not just about swooping in and doing some messaging and suddenly they're going to have a 6-figure launch. There's lots of pieces to put in place. So, you know, I'm very careful about when I work with these people over here that the results I'm sharing with them are with other people like them that I've worked with. You know, it's different. It's a different kind of social proof than with, say, my copywriting clients over here, and vice versa. So all that just to say, you know, testimonials, not all testimonials are created equal, and just make sure that you're matching the proof with the offer and with the person that you're putting it in front of. Okay, in your third email, you're going to answer any questions that have been coming up. So you can pre-prepare this if you kind of have a good sense of what you know is going on in the mind of your audience, and you know the questions that they'll be having. But also what often happens, and you know, I encourage at least in one email to have a PS somewhere, or some, you know, saying reach out if you've got any questions in some way. I've found even if you don't explicitly ask, people will reach out if they've got questions. They'll send me a message on Facebook or something. So if any questions are coming in, you can use those questions and answer them in an email. And then the fourth email is obviously the last chance, just to really remind them the deadline is here. This is the last chance. The price is going up. The spots are gone, whatever it is. Okay, so those are the 4 emails at a high level. And then the timings, I mean, back to back. So this isn't something you're doing all the time. This is a campaign. You're just deploying it for, you know, once, and then maybe again in the future. But, you know, it's not like you're emailing them every day, selling them something. So if you've got a nurture kind of routine in place and you're emailing your list, you know, regularly, and then this is like a short, intense sales campaign. So email 1 goes out on day 1, email 2 goes out on day 2, email 3 on the 3rd day, email 4 on the 4th day. You could spread it out a bit longer if you want, but you don't want to drag it out too long. Again, you're looking for the quick action takers. You want to just put something out there, sell it in a flurry of activity, and then close the doors. This is just one approach. I'm not saying you have to do it this way. But, you know, you don't want it to drag on for too long with this kind of thing. I mean, you could do this over 2 days. You know, some people, you know, I've seen these kind of things run where it's a 48-hour campaign. And so you're sending like 4 emails over 2 days to just be like boom, boom, boom. And, you know, just read, but depends, you know, what feels in alignment and integrity with you, and just what, you know, what's going to work and how you're going to feel about it. Right, so the first email, you're sharing the offer and you're asking for the sale straight out of the bat. So the structure of the email is you want to lead with an outcome. So think about what are the problems that you're solving for them, or what outcome are you promising for them. You don't need to do both, because normally one's the mirror reflection of the other. but you want to lead with that thing, that problem solving outcome, or sort of angle. You also want to include what the details are, the features. I'll just go through that in more detail in a sec. And then you want to show them that the next logical step for them to take is to purchase your product or service. So you've shown them that you understand their problem. You've got your thing that's the solution, and that's the next logical step for them to take. You've given them a deadline, a reason to do it now, call to action, click through to the link, or ask them to hit reply depending on the email and depending on how you want to communicate with them. Okay, so here's an example of email 1. Okay, so I was leading, even in my subject line, this is the outcome that they want, and straight into it. So if somebody reads that and they click on it, then they're probably in their head saying, yes, I am ready. It's like, good, here's my thing, and it's starting next week. Here's what I'm going to help you do. So it's a set and forget system. It's going to bring in leads every day and generate sales. Outcome focused, completely outcome focused. Here's what's included. So these are benefits tied in with features. So I'm saying you're going to get these frameworks to promote your freebie, and here's the benefit of them. You can use them, for your organic content. You can use them as ads, but this is what's going to bring people into your world. We're going to do a landing page, just sharing a bit of authority here, saying that the ones I use convert better than average, which is true. We're going to write 5-part connect and convert email sequence. And so the reason that we're doing this is to nurture the relationship while still encouraging them to invest with you. So these are what they get, but also why I've included them and what they're going to get out of it. Then this is the nuts and bolts, the what you get. So this is boom, boom, boom. You're getting frameworks, you're getting prompts and guidance, you're getting swipe files, you're getting a tech toolkit. So these are all the features. And also the how it works is also the features. There's a Facebook group, there's live feedback, there's a portal, there's calls, blah, 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 blah. So all of these things together are super important. Now, these are, the whole benefits versus features thing can be very confusing. I understand that. So the features are the nuts and bolts, the what you get, the how it works. Because most people tend to just shove this stuff in without really teasing out why or what's the benefit of all this stuff, then sometimes they go too far the other way and people focus just on the benefits. It's like, you're going to get this, you're going to get that outcome. This is what we're going to do. You need both. So people need to know that you can help them get the result that they want, that you understand what it is that they're looking for, the benefits. But it is equally important. They want to know how you're going to get me this results, because there's, your solution is not the only solution to their problem. There's loads of solutions to their problem, and they're trying to find the one that's the best fit for them. So the benefits help them understand, or help to show that you understand them and their problems, that you've got the solution. The features are how you deliver it to them, and they want to know what that is. How long is it going to take? What am I going to get? The price is only one part of it. The time investment is a huge thing as well. Am I going to how long am I going to have access to this stuff? How easy is it going to be for me to kind of go through it? All those things. So yeah, features are super important. And then this is the sort of sales mechanism. So this is the price. It's going to go up and the time's running out. On the sales page, I had a countdown timer. You can also include that in your emails. I just think I didn't have the software set up to do that. But they work because they're a very visual, visceral reminder that actually this is a limited time offer. But I totally get that people have got different opinions on them, so I'm not saying you have to use it. And then the PS here is just reiterating, this is the only time that this is going to be at this price. Grab your spot, there's the link. Okay, so email 2, sharing proof. Okay, so I talked about that a bit before, making sure you really match your testimonial to your offer and to the person that you're putting it in front of. So sharing a client journey or testimonial is a really powerful way to prove that you get the results that they're looking for. You then want to explain that you've got the product or service or course or whatever it is that you've got that's going to help them get the same results, and you're reflecting it back to them. And then your call to action, again, either clicking the link to a sales page or asking them to hit reply. Okay, so here's the second email. So I'm leading again with a big outcome. Here's how to get daily sales. Now, the reason I did this is because I know that it's a big claim. I know that my audience are probably a bit jaded, and I'm going to read that and be like, yeah, okay, whatever, I've heard it all before. And the only reason I put that in as a subject line is because I knew that I can prove it. And that's what I want, is them to click the email with a little bit of cynicism, maybe, shift that belief and turn it around and say, actually, look, I know that you think I might be full of it, but I'm not, and here's the proof. So I shared the story of what was going on with my client when she reached out to me. This is what I did, and I'm sharing the proof that, pretty much every day we were getting sales while this campaign was running. Then just leading to, I want to help you. Here's the thing that I'm running. Here's what you're getting. So this is just kind of high level overview. I mean, you could just copy paste the bullets from the previous email if you want as well. And here's the link to the sales page. So the whole kind of, deadline, price change, all of that. Now, this PS is definitely worth playing around with. So if somebody skipped to the end, you can encourage them to scroll up, because maybe they missed the screenshot. So if you say, look, if you scroll up, you'll see a screenshot. And that actually can make people bounce back up and actually read the email that initially they skim read. So as a PS, that's kind of a fun one worth playing around with. What I might, looking at this as well, what I might do with this, if I was using it again, is include an actual screenshot of a testimonial from my client in the PS. So I do have that from LinkedIn, so I could put that in here. Because this kind of thing, although it's proof of the sales, because of my audience and my niche, and they've seen this kind of stuff before, then there's in the back of their mind, or possibly in the front of their mind, like, you can just create a graphic like this, like you can make it up, or you can doctor it, or whatever. So I would leave that in, because that's, it's powerful, it's true, I haven't. But then I'd probably include here in the PS the testimonial from the client as well, with her name, with her face and everything, so that it's like really anchored down, and it is true and it is proof. Okay, so that's email 2. Email 3, the one is the one where you want to answer any questions. So this email, because we're kind of in the middle as well, is a good place to show or to tell that you're getting signups. So if people have been buying your thing, it's worth mentioning it and say, yeah, loads of people have been signing up. If you've got any proof that you can share, even better. It may or may not be important to your audience, but there's certainly that kind of psychology that we've all got, that if other people are buying it or jumping on board on something, then it becomes more valuable in our eyes. It's just the way we're wired. So that's another layer of social proof that you can bring into it. So you want to reiterate again, always talking about the outcomes, letting them see what's possible, and then share any questions that you've been getting. Answer the questions and then add in your call to action. So in this example, again, looking at this, I've been getting lots of interest. So I might add some proof in, some sort of screenshot to show that people have been signing up. But to be honest, even just saying this was kind of enough. Reiterating the outcome. And so this actually was in response to a question that someone reached out to me and said, look, I'm really interested, but I just want to know when are the timings of the calls. And I realized I hadn't put that on the sales page. So I put it on the sales page, but I also used it to, as a question to answer. Also, what I did, and this is why questions can help you really not only work out what to say, and not only refine your messaging, but also refine your offer. So it made me realize, and this is a common concern for people, is like, am I going to make it? Is the timing good for me? So, I said, okay, look, we're going to work it out. But it also made me think maybe I can add something else in to, help people who maybe can't make the group calls, because not making the group calls doesn't necessarily invalidate the whole, experience. So I decided to add in an extra layer of support. And so in this email, that's where I talk about it. It's like, okay, look, this has been brought to my attention. Maybe this is what you're worrying about as well. So here's what I've done to solve that problem, to overcome that objection. So, I had all this stuff included anyway. So, there was the feedback, and there's like support in the Facebook group as they need it, all that kind of stuff. But also I added in a Voxer chat. So there's the Facebook group. If they want to ask questions, it's like, you can also, we'll go on Voxer, and if you just want to leave me a message, and I'll get back to you that way. So I just added a couple of extra mechanisms in to give the support for those people who might be worried that, like, a group call is not going to work for me. Is the whole thing a waste of my time? So hopefully that makes sense. So, questions super valuable. And as I say, they can feed back into the offer itself, as well as the messaging and what you're going to be writing in your emails. And email 4, last chance email. So again, reminder of the outcome, reminder of what they get, reminder of the deadline or the urgency, and then that is it. So let's just take a look. Okay, so subject last chance. So if you this is where you're at right now. Here's the solution. It's happening tomorrow. Here's what you get. Again, just kind of high level overview. I was offering a done for you service in there as well. And then look, here's the deadline, here's the urgency, here's the price, tomorrow's changing, yada yada, grab your spot. And that is it. There's your 4 emails that you can just deploy to get sales in the next few days if you just put it together and put it out there. Okay, so thanks for sticking with me so far. I'm running a workshop and I'd love to invite you. So in this training, I kind of gave you a taste of how I work, how I pull things together. So I'm running a live workshop and I'm going to be taking, like what we've done on this training, but I'm going into way more depth. I'm going to show you the exact strategy and the emails that made £8,000 for my client. And just by doing the exact same thing, we just created a campaign, put it together, put it in front of her audience. A couple of months later, did it again. She had a small list, she had a low ticket product, and it's super easy for you to get the same results and even double or triple those results. And I'm just going to show you exactly step by step on how you can do that for yourself. The workshop is live. There are 40 minutes of training where I'm going to take you through it all. I'm going to share the emails. I'm going to share the strategy. I'm going to share the numbers. I'm going to show you it all. You get a recording of that workshop. You also get a copy of my Profit Booster template pack, which has got, I think, around 30 email frameworks for you to write your sales sequences for launches, for your evergreen campaigns, and for things like these sort of sales launch campaigns. I set aside 90 minutes for the workshop. So 40 minutes is going to be me showing you all this stuff. And then the rest of the call, so around 45 minutes, I'll be working on your emails on the call. So if you show up live, then I'm going to go through, I've got my frameworks and we're going to go through stuff together. So you can bring your ideas, bring, your offers, bring what you're working on, and we're going to work through it together so that you can, really start putting this together for yourself. So tickets to the workshop's only $37. Like I said, you get the Profit Booster template pack included, and that standalone is worth $47 on its own anyway. But also you get the live training, you get the Q&A, all my support, plus you get obviously a video of a recording of the workshop. So if you'd like to grab a ticket, if you go to yourwebtoolkit.com/money making emails and sign up, and I'll hopefully see you there. Thanks so much. I hope you got value out of this presentation today.